Hello there, I am Ara, aka I Eat Zebra. In today's video, I will be covering episode 4 of the Bad Batch. I'll be uncovering a few Easter eggs as well as making some predictions along the way. So let's get to it. Episode 4, Cornered, opens with the team floating in space, debating on where they should go next. Hunter locates an uninhabited world, Ida Floor, which he believes will be the perfect spot for the team to lay low. This is the first mention of the planet in Star Wars media, and coincidentally is an anagram for Florida, where Disney World is located. You know, Mickey Mouse is always watching. Unfortunately, they are running low on fuel, rations, money, and their ship is currently on a wanted list. Tech points out that he can scramble their signature. However, they need to land so he can make a few modifications to the ship first, in order to be able to scramble the signature when needed in the future. They decide to land on the closest planet, Pantora. Pantora has appeared in the Clone Wars series. The episode it is featured in is Sphere of Influence, when the senator of Pantora's daughters are kidnapped. They are eventually rescued and all ends well. Sort of, until, you know, the Empire shows up. Speaking of showing up, the Bad Batch lands on Pantora in a docking station where they encounter a Sulustan, the same species as Resistance pilot Nien Nub. In one of the funniest moments of the episode, Wrecker and Tech learn about how to properly bribe someone and negotiate for the docking workers' silence. After he receives a sufficient amount of credits, he ends up reaching out to none other than Fennec Shand. We see Fennec on her ship looking at a bounty hollow of Omega. We have seen these types of bounty hollows in The Mandalorian, the same series that we are first introduced to Fennec. Actress Ming-Na Wen returns to voice the role as well. One of her other famous voiceover roles is from Disney's Mulan. The team decides to split up. Hunter, Echo, and Omega go into town to get supplies, while Wrecker and Tech work on the ship. While in town, Hunter, Echo, and Omega see a parade celebrating the end of the war, while Pantorans cheer on the stormtroopers. While this is happening, we see Admiral Rampart's message about chain codes playing again, like the one we saw on Sulcamai. They then go into a shop where Omega pulls a Jar Jar and almost breaks some merchandise. She's playing with a Stormtrooper doll, similar to the one we see Jyn Erso playing with in Rogue One. As Hunter tries to negotiate a sale of his droid, which is Echo in disguise, Omega does what all kids do when their parents are in a store and gets separated from them. With good reason. She spots these adorable dog-like creatures that snag her doll and she chases after them. The creature eventually tosses the doll and Omega bumps into someone. She then falls. Fennec Shand reemerges to help her on her feet. Clearly, no one taught Omega about stranger danger on Kamino. As she is walking down along with Fennec Shand, they have an interesting conversation surrounding survival and protection. Hunter spots them and ends up getting into a hand-to-hand fight with Fennec. They are evenly matched, and he mentions how highly trained Fennec appears to be, as he is not familiar with her or her background. Urging Omega to flee, she runs through the city and ends up going through a maintenance tunnel. Tech hacks into the city's security cameras and is able to locate Omega and alert the others to her whereabouts. While in the maintenance tunnels, Wrecker is able to find her and start carrying her back to safety. That is when Fennec finds them again and attempts to get her back. Wrecker tells Omega to run as he goes to face off with Fennec. Surprisingly, Fennec is able to handle him fairly quickly, which is continuing my suspicions of him possibly receiving a concussion in the previous episode when they had the crash landing on the moon. Omega ends up escaping out to a maintenance tower and slips and is holding onto the ledge for dear life. Fennec shows up just in time to grab her before she falls and tosses her into a nearby ship for her safety. This scene reveals that Fennec's orders are to indefinitely bring Omega back alive. While this is happening, Hunter pulls up on a speeder bike to follow them. In a chase scene reminiscent of the beginning of Attack of the Clones, Hunter chases them throughout the city. The sounds used in this scene are actually the same from Anakin and Obi-Wan chasing Zam Wesell in Coruscant. Hunter eventually is able to get a hold of Omega, again while Fennec crashes, but pulls off an epic superhero landing in the process. Because girls get it done. Hunter and Omega make it back to the ship in time to pull off before the authorities or Fennec catch up to them. They take off and discuss that Fennec is a bounty hunter, but the bigger question is, who hired her? In the final scene, we see Fennec pay the employee at the docking station for his tip-off, and she reaches out to someone on her comlink to report that Omega got away, but she will find her. We definitely will be seeing more of Fennec Shand in the series, which I am truly excited about. One of the biggest questions of this episode is who hired her? I believe she was hired by Boba Fett to retrieve Omega. At this time, he has started his own group of bounty hunters, and seeing their relationship in The Mandalorian, I believe the show will delve a little bit deeper into their history. The chase scene mirroring so closely with the one in Attack of the Clones makes me more confident in this idea. Zam Wesell was employed by Jango Fett to take out Senator Amidala, so it is a cool parallel that his son would also employ fellow bounty hunters for certain missions. It is within the realm of possibility that the Kaminoans reached out directly to Boba to hire his services, as they are the ones who created him. Boba spent his early life on Kamino, and I would imagine Lama Su has kept tabs on his progress, as he is different from the other Jango Fett clones. Boba, as far as we know, is the only unaltered Jango clone. It is only natural they would continue to observe him for research purposes. Also makes sense to send a clone to capture clones. I do believe that Wrecker's recent head injury, coupled with the one from the last episode, will continue to cause his inhibitor chip to slowly begin activating the Order 66 protocol. I expect by the time they encounter Captain Rex, they will be able to find a way to safely remove them from the whole team. Well, that about wraps it up for today's video. Who do you think hired Fennec Shand? Leave it in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinions on that. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for more Bad Batch coverage coming your way. I do plan on covering the Loki series, which is coming out on June 9th, so be on the lookout for that as well. And until next time, bye!